Hello to those of you joining us now. Sorry we're a few minutes late, but that's how we do it here.
Megan told us a
Um,
gross story.
Megan told us a gross story, and we didn't want you
Listen,
to.
it's the truth. If you can't talk about these things, it's important to have open conversation.
Okay. I grew up in a traditional Catholic household, so that's not accurate.
Mm.
That's not how I was taught. Okay, so we're gonna get started here in just a second, but thank you everyone who's here to join us. Thank you so much, and I think probably what Sally is here, right? So Sally, I guess, gets the award for being the sleepiest, the most awake, most late. Sally, did you really stay up for all of us? You can put it in the chat because you're not allowed to talk right now. Oh, and Sam's here. Hey, yeah, Sam is here. Hey, Megan, how was Codenames that you and Sam were just working on like an hour before this? I don't, what's happening? Am I supposed to be reading the chat? I can't see what you're pointing at, Meg. Is it the chat? Because I can't see the chat on your screen.
Megan, you're still
Oh, she can't
muted.
unmute herself because.
Oh, would you like to be a co-host, Megan? You should have asked to be a co-host.
Sorry, I was too busy not being able to talk.
Which is what we like from the role of the female in this podcast.
The females on this podcast. It was great. Our team won again.
Did
And
she?
Bob Dearly is going to knock off at least 15 years of his life from playing this game. He gets so anxious. He ended it looking not unlike E.T., wearing an anxiety blanket over his head. It was quite scary, but entertaining for all of us.
Patrick was
great.
my first guest on Codenames, and he will never go back.
We cleaned up. We cleaned up. We did great, and never again.
Did we?
Please
I
end
don't-
with a pristine
I'm
record.
not sure that was.
We won. We won that one round, I believe.
We did win one. I think they got the assassin.
I made the mistake of not having any idea what the fuck Codenames was before video started rolling.
That's a bit of a you thing, no?
You kept texting me for like a week, like you've Googled what this is, right? I'm like, yeah, I absolutely have done that. I'm thinking, yeah, it's like categories or something, right? I'll figure it out.
I think
as we
I
go
offered
along.
to do like a practice round.
You
with
did.
at some
You
point.
did.
Yeah.
I turned that down. And,
Sure did.
I don't know. It was
I
fun.
think that's the way to do it. I support that, Patrick.
Thank you. You know, I live as the audience surrogate, and so I didn't know if that was the right thing to do on Codenames. Turns out it wasn't, but
No, it's the wrong thing. Sam's bringing up a good point in the chat, though. I did team up with my friend Tat. You know her as like Tatiana Maslany. It's not a big deal.
yeah.
Actually, I teamed up with Ben against her, and we brought down the She-Hulk.
Tatiana Mazzoni, she lived in Vancouver, didn't
She's
she?
one of you. She's from Canada. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think we were auditioning for things around the same time.
How'd that
And
go
then-
for you guys? I don't know.
It was great for her.
The same. It's basically the same, right?
She got quite famous.
She sure did.
Mhm.
I actually did.
Well, we know you from.
We know I'm famous on Codenames.
Well, so is she.
Damn it.
It's the one thing you had.
One thing I had. I sometimes you just got to bow to the greatness, you know?
Yeah. All right. Ryan's looking at that look on his face, so he really wants us to get started so we can be done. So,
I go to bed.
so I guess we'll get going. Ryan, you're getting all the notifications when people come to the waiting room. Yes.
Probably.
Take those over. Okay, great. Cool.
I've got him too, Clayton. Don't worry.
Thanks, Jen. It's always so good to have a Jen. All right. I move some things around here. I think, I don't know, most folks who are joining us today, if not everyone, has done this before. So as you all know, you're not allowed to unmute yourself, as Meg found out, or start your video, but you certainly can use the chat. And then after we're done, we'll stick around and we can all chat about the show or about life or about whatever. All right. And I'm ready. Is anyone not ready?
Do you say anything if you're not ready?
You say not ready.
What
No,
does-
I am
what
ready.
does-
Okay, then
What
just say so ready.
Wait, what constitutes ready? What?
Yeah.
Well, that's
I thought I was, but
No,
that's
I'm
Patrick's whole
doubting
vibe.
myself
So you're
now.
ready. If that's the question you're asking yourself, you're ready to go.
Right. So like you're looking, you're reviewing your notes, Megan. You've got everything kind of like storyboarded, right? Ready? You ready?
Oh, fuck.
Did I send you the story, Meg? Did I forget? All right, Ryan, you are certainly welcome to keep your video on and join us, and cut in as needed. Okay, yeah, I thought so. Okay. All right, well, let's get this going. Sally's at like 2 a.m., 2:30 in the morning, so she's got a bed to get to. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Is This a Ghost? I'm Clayton Smith, and every week I tell a real ghost story from real history to my real friend, Patrick Dean, who doesn't take it real seriously. But we have a real special episode today. So as we are recording, it is New Year's Eve, and I think that's right. That's a thing, right?
I think it is. we
Feels like
we
a
are
thing.
we are like we're deep in like the gray milieu of Christmas to New Year's. So you could have told me it was like the 27th, and I totally would have bought it.
For those of us with young children, it's hard. This is a hard time of year.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Spare a thought for us.
You're on like the 7th round of a knockout fight right now. Everything's spinning. You're like, just when do I get out of this?
when are the kids back all 5 days in school? Because please God. So we are doing something special today. So we've invited all our Ghost Plus subscribers to join us in this recording. So we've got a handful of folks over who are just watching. They're not allowed to interrupt because I get way too easily distracted. I am already regretting the fact that I didn't put my normal like post-it over the chat number, because that's gonna hurt. But they are there, and they are gonna be speaking with each other in the chat. And producer Ryan is here because it's a special occasion. Ryan, you want to say hi?
I would love to say hi. Hello. It's great to be here. Thanks.
Is
for
it your
the,
face? Your words say one thing, but your face says something else.
Thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. Thank you for thank you for showing up.
Does that room get darker every time we do this, Ryan? I'm just curious.
I like to hide, and I'm wearing my ghost whatever this is hoodie, and it's getting scary over here. I'm getting back into spooky season.
Love it.
All the way back around, and then we what, Megan? I'm coming around to you.
No, I just have a question.
Yeah,
But I
okay, yeah. Interrupt everything to ask a question from. Let's have the one person who no one knows whose voice this is. Ask a question. Go ahead.
Yeah, we try to be snappier on these things, you know?
Yeah. We don't. We get right to the story, and that's kind of our trademark. But go ahead, sure. Everyone, this is Megan. Megan, what do you want?
Two questions. You don't have
Oh,
to answer
good.
them now.
Two?
The first is, have any of you ever dressed up as a ghost for Halloween with like a sheet?
This is okay.
No.
I thought you were right along.
Okay, yeah, you don't
Ryan
have
has
to-
dressed up as something with a sheet for a different purpose, but not for Halloween, not as a ghost.
We can handle two questions at a time. I've got
Yeah.
a pencil. No, I don't. I can write it down. Ghost? No.
No, no.
And then a follow-up question: what is Balacho?
What is the what?
What's Balatro?
Balacho.
So there goes 20 minutes.
All right, Pat. This is. I don't know. I'll take a nap.
Balatro is a mystical experience brought to you by developer something. I don't remember his name. It's poker, but with a twist. There's nobody else at the table, so you don't have to like talk to anybody or see anybody or interact with anybody. You're playing poker against yourself.
And it's like a poker RPG,
Yes, exactly.
and it sounds insane.
Mm-hmm.
But it's real.
Yeah. Sounds a
And
little
if you-
bad.
Yeah, it's good. When you explain to people, it's not a good game. But it's worth $10, and if you buy it, then you'll further appreciate Patrick and my's side podcast, the Balatro Boys. It's our podcast, and it's really good. Can I finish the intro, or are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
This is what happens when this happens. This is when we get bad comments on Spotify.
Exactly.
Ryan, you popped up. Do you have something to say?
No, I just the story was done, so I decided to come back.
Okay, so This is going, I would say, 10 out of 10 so far. So Ryan is here, as we said, and he's going to be moderating the chat with our Ghost Plus subscribers. So Ryan, please, if anything pops up there that you think needs to be brought forward, a pertinent question or really anything that you want to try to derail the podcast with, please feel free to do that. But Ryan is the only one who can do that from the chat. And so that's part of our special. And then y'all, you're not going to believe this. We have a special guest with us today. Surprise! We have a special guest host. Megan Phillips is first and foremost Canadian, but we let her come anyway. And she is she's a writer, she is an actor, she is an all-around creator, she's a musician, she's a comedian, does all sorts of really, really fun, interesting work. And for some reason, she agreed to come and join us for this special episode of Is This a Ghost? Megan, thank you so much for being here.
Oh my God, thank you. I actually came specifically to have the answer to what is Balatro given to me. So I just feel like my dreams came true tonight.
Oh, so you're done then?
Are you
Yeah,
leaving?
done. Yeah, yes.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah.
Would have given you a shorter intro if I'd known that. So I like that the one episode of the podcast you listened to before agreeing to come on was the one where we talked about Balatro, and that's where all your questions come from.
Fair.
All right, and before we get started, because we're deep in it already, so there's no time for banter today. No banter today. Megan, do I understand correctly? You've come with a game for us.
I have.
And do you want to explain it now?
Yeah.
Great.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So I spent many years, like about 10, working on a trolley around Vancouver, telling ghost stories around Vancouver over the month of October, and got very good at it because if you were bad at it, you wouldn't get tipped. So, so I learned a lot about ghost stories in Vancouver.
You are way overqualified for this podcast.
Well, and so when we were wondering what kind of bit we could have when we were jamming ideas, I threw around some of the ghost stories in Vancouver just to see what landed with Clayton. And then we touched upon the one at the old Spaghetti Factory here in Vancouver. And then Clayton offhand said, you wouldn't believe how many ghosts are in the old Spaghetti Factory. And we went down a rabbit hole.
So I do this a lot of ghost research. There are so many old spaghetti factories in the world, and almost every one of them is haunted.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're talking about old Spaghetti Factory,
The
like the global
restaurant.
chain
Yes.
Correct.
of like acceptable Italian food. That's the one.
Correct.
Okay.
Technically, there's two
Old
global
Italian food.
chains.
There's-
Yeah, it's Italian American. Technically, there's two. It is under the old Spaghetti Factory umbrella, started in Portland, Oregon.
Mhm.
However,
I know a lot about
there's
the old
a
spaghetti factory.
I learned so much yesterday, Clayton Smith. That Canada has its own technical corporation
Okay.
under the umbrella. Their branding is mildly different.
Okay. Is this how the haunted tour started, by the way? Because this isn't really grabbing me. But
No,
No
not
tip.
at all.
No tip so far.
Yeah, no tips so far. But what it did lead to was what I have for you today is all of the ghosts. I have a bunch of ghosts that live in old spaghetti factories in Canada. And so I'm going to tell you what the ghosts are, and then you have to guess what city in Canada they haunt.
Oh, I love
Okay,
a theme
now-
episode.
And I will say,
I
I
love
don't
it.
know the answer to these questions. I did help. We helped brainstorm this, but
Mhm.
what I'm going to do, but I don't know the answers. And what I'm going to do is I found this list of all the places in Canada where there are old spaghetti factories, and I'll put them in the chat for
Mhm.
everyone.
Okay.
Did I just do that right?
Are they
Yeah,
all
see,
naturally haunted, or do you have to like cross-reference ones that are also haunted?
Based on my research, I would say they're all haunted.
well,
They're
What an odd
But-
shtick! This is not what I would have expected. Okay.
but what is so great about it is like a lot of the times what I've read is the ghosts come with the tram. Like the ghosts, like when they
Can you explain that for anyone who's not been to an old spaghetti factory?
The
Right.
tramp.
Yeah, so at Old Spaghetti Factory, the classic Italian American casual dining food chain
Experience, I would say.
experience
Mhm.
is built on this shtick, this gimmick, I guess, where they
Built on this graveyard of,
Yeah.
of Native American bones.
Yeah, fancy that. This where they take trams from trolleys and then they make them into dining cars. So oftentimes they'll take like a tram or a trolley from that city and they'll move it in, and those tend to carry a lot of ghosts with them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But then they're also in like old historic buildings too, and so those usually have some,
Yeah.
mad spirits.
So how is this game going to work, Megan?
So we'll see. But what
No, not how well will it work.
Oh, okay. That one I can answer much better. I'm going to tell you like the type of ghost that it is, and then you just need to guess the location.
Do Patrick and I get to work as a team, or is this like a
No, one-on-one, mano a mano here. Gotta be. Because what I love about this is it is also an acute Canadian geography test. How many Canadian cities can you name?
I have so many maps pulled up right now.
Here's a question
not
for
true.
you.
Absolutely
How many
fair.
provinces do we have?
I know I can name all 5.
I can tell you how many have Old Spaghetti Factories. 5. 5 at least. Okay, and then we also decided that this game would not be something we did right off the bat, but like there's a new rule because you're such a special guest that you get to play host whenever you want. And so I will be telling the normal "Is this a ghost story?" But whenever you feel compelled, you will say "Stop," and you will stop me, and then you will do another question, and we'll just scatter these throughout the episode. And yes, go ahead.
Instead of saying stop, can I put up my hand?
Oh yeah, do whatever you want. I'm not
Okay.
looking at you though. I'm looking at my notes, so you may have to
Great.
make a noise.
Great.
But is there a name? Did you decide on the name for this?
Oh, no, but you had a great
with the one
one.
I said.
Yeah, let's go with what you had.
This game is called Old Spaghostie Factory. And every time we play Old Spaghostie Factory, we have a special sound effect tonight. Are you ready?
I am so ready.
This is how you'll know that we're transitioning from Is This a Ghost to Old Spaghostie Factory.
Pizza.
All right.
Okay. Not bad. You might need to bring up the pizza a little bit. I only got a hint. of it.
Okay. Thank you for the note, Jeremy. If you're listening, can you just bring up the pizza every single time we do this? And I don't know how many questions Meg has
Because I don't know where the dial is to make it happen.
I am not the one to do this. Okay, so that's the rules. Good, Meg. Good.
Oh yeah, the goodest.
I'm shocked
Okay.
at how good the name is. I wasn't expecting that kind of gold. It was.
It's all Clayton. It's all Clayton.
Mm-hmm.
All right, then we are just about ready. The last thing is just to let everyone know that we are sponsored this week by Smart Labels.
No.
I know they keep coming back. It is. I am as surprised as anyone, but here we are. And yes, Megan.
Can I just say, when you talk about smart labels, it's made me want to buy them. So like, I'm not a neat freak about anything. And yet this, like, it just calmed the left brain side of me just knowing it exists. So like, I just think it's so cool.
Keep going. So
Try not to cuss. He gives us notes if we cuss.
sometimes we get notes if we cuss. Not all the time, but you never know which ones are the words that they're going to set them off. How many have you bought?
Oh, none. But
Okay,
I broke.
so shut up, cut her mic, cut Megan's mic. So Smart Labels, listen, everyone, as we're obviously recording
12.
this-
I bought 12.
Great. Wow, that's almost enough. As we're recording this, obviously it's New Year's Eve, but as you're listening to this, as a listener flies, we're getting deep into January. It's like we're at least a full weekend. Your resolution is done. You've messed it up. You're not doing it. You failed. You failed this year. You failed 2025. You have to start over. And what you're
Exactly.
going to do, I think, is organized. Patrick, you recently organized your basement. That I've seen several blankets that were not previously folded. Can you just talk a little bit about how nice it was to get organized?
I appreciate you mentioning that. Yeah, so I decided to pick up around here. You'll put some smart labels on some things like that blanket. It's got a pink label on the back side of it in case I ever lose it, or like I wake up in the middle of the night and I don't know where my blanket is. Then I just have to get out my phone, obviously, and punch it in and see where I've left it. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with how things have turned out down here. If you couldn't tell, it's been a long week of having a crippling head cold and 3 screaming children. So the basement has been my repose, and smart labels have helped me tolerate it down here. So,
and I've learned that your couch is green. It's amazing.
Oh, it is. You're right.
So smart labels are color-coded, QR-coded labels. You stick them on your boxes, your bags, your bins, anything you want to store away for whatever reason. You scan them in the app and you say, this box is full of my safety blankets. My name is Patrick and I need my cool blankie to sleep. And where do I find it? You put it in the box, you scan the QR code on the box, and you take a picture of what's in the box so you know which cool blankets are in there. And then whenever you put the box in your attic or your basement, you can take a picture of the spot in the basement where it is. You can write yourself a note about where to find it.
You can make it a really cryptic note if you want. That's the fun way to do it. You want to make it a little bit of a quest.
Well, especially if you've got a spouse who likes your blanket, and you're like, it's actually my blanket.
Mm-hmm. It's actually my social security number divided by 4, number of steps to the left. Interesting. I wonder which way it could be.
And you can do it however you want. So when you smart labels will help you organize your life. We have some. I have some. Patrick has some. Meg desperately needs some. And they're really, really great. So go to Amazon right now, search smart labels. You'll find them. They are color coded in the best colors. You can choose some really cool colors. Buy them. They're super cheap. If you have Prime, they'll be there in 2 days. They will reorganize your life for you. It's so easy and you need it. Please go buy them. Patrick, do you have something else? You're wiggling your pencil like you have.
I don't. This is just emphasis. Just purely emphasis. Just
okay,
really
so we'll cut the ad right before you did that.
Absolutely. Please do.
Nailed it. All right, Ryan, anything from the chat that we need to address before we dive into the ghost story?
I mean, I got to tell you, some people are very excited about smart labels. We've got some folks in here who have actually purchased some. Apparently, they come in neon colors, which I didn't realize until just now. So very exciting.
The neonist.
Jeremy, cut that into the ad, would you? That would help us a lot. All right. Well, thank you all for those of you who have bought smart labels. Thank you, genuinely. They are our only sponsor, and it's nice that we can send them some business because they are great. All right, then I think it is officially time to get ready for the actual purpose of this podcast. Patrick and Meg, are you ready to hear a ghost story?
Yes.
Yes.
It's usually a verbal thing from Patrick. Okay, great. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dong. John Burroughs Drake was born on January 17th, 1826 in Lebanon, Ohio. His father was a harness maker from Trenton, New Jersey.
I'm sorry. I got to stop you there. I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna say horse harnesses, but I don't want to. I don't want to assume. I don't want to assume.
It is New Jersey.
Yeah.
So the answer is actually sex harnesses.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Man, that came a lot sooner than I thought it would. Historically.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't realize there was that kind of free time back then, quite frankly.
Well, I'll tell you, this is a story about a rich person, and you don't get rich without having a little bit of foresight.
I'm still stuck on Lebanon, Ohio. That took a turn.
You thought it was gonna be Lebanon.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
More of a pause there. Lebanon.
Yeah. You'll find that most of the ghosts on this show come from the Rust Belt or the Deep South.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I feel like that's where most of the angry people were.
Yeah, that's where you're driving a real stake into the ground as far as your spirit goes.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Lebanon is it's a, I guess you'd call it a suburb of Cincinnati, but I looked at some photos and I would say exurb is probably
its own thing. It's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
Lebanon, or as I would imagine, probably Lebanon gonna say that.
Yeah,
It's probably
Lebanon.
Lebanon. Yeah. I think they'd be a little offended if they said if you told them they're a suburb of Cincinnati. They'd say we are our own thing.
We we have our own cool baseball team. It's Lenny and Jake, and fuck the Reds. Let's see. So his father's a harness maker. I assume horses. I didn't check. Thank you, Patrick, for calling that out. I'll be
make
more
a
thorough
note.
next time.
I'll look it up later.
Thank you. So his father was a harness maker, and his mother was a Nancy. That's all I know about.
That's a
About her.
role or that's a name? I'm
Could be
confused.
both.
Okay.
Was she Nancy in the 2009 musical Groundhog Day by Tim Minchin?
Was she?
Was she?
Yes.
Oh wow! Right on the head.
That's
Where have you been
coincidence.
this whole time, Megan?
I really want Meg to feel involved.
I'm just stuck on Lebanon, Kansas. Stop it, chat.
This is Ohio.
I need to pay attention to the story.
No, you can't. You can't have chat up. It's
No.
It's a fool's errand. Keeping
Okay, I
track
gotta
of chat
close it.
and
Chat, I did make a comment earlier about how maybe it was before you all were in here. Meg and I have the same brain, and I mean that as much as I possibly can. So in the way that I would be distracted, please don't distract her. You'll know I have moved my Zoom window down so that it's off frame. So I can only see the top half of Meg's head, but it's worth it because I cannot see the chat. Okay, so we have so many notes to go. So Nancy is from Pennsylvania. Now John's father dies when he's 11 years old.
I would imagine some sort of horrible harness accident. It's got to be right.
It was the
Sex
David
harness.
Carradine of Lebanon, Ohio. We call that.
Wait, I'm sorry, but you never answered the Nancy question.
Yeah.
It was, what is a Nancy? Is that a
Her name was Nancy.
And that was it.
Her name was Nancy.
oh.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Do you have any
Yeah.
further questions about Nancy? There was no occupation for her because she didn't have one, I assume.
Does she play Balatro?
She did. She actually invented Balatro. It took a while to catch on.
We're learning so much.
That's what you get from this podcast. It's more educational than the American educational system.
Hmm.
So his dad dies when John is 11 years old, which
Horrible
causes,
harness accident. Right.
Horrible-
Yep.
Yep.
We got this.
I don't want to forget that. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
kind of love you, Patrick, so much. Like,
I just don't.
so
I
much.
don't want him to forget.
Yeah, no, I wrote it. I'll write
Never
it up.
forget.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Never forget harness accident.
Mhm.
David Carradine.
Horrible
Of-
horrible harness accident.
Horrible.
Horrible.
Harness accident. Sorry. Thank you.
That's
Horrible harness.
Daughter of
accident.
Nancy. I mean, son of Nancy.
Son of no,
Nancy.
husband of Nancy.
Oh. See, you had me at Lebanon.
I'm gonna
I
keep
gotta-
going
let's
because
see.
people get so angry when this happens.
every time somebody asks Clayton, why do you only have one host? He's like, if you only fucking knew.
We have so many notes to get through. So John's dad dies. John's 11 in a horrible harness accident,
Thank you.
Sex artists.
which causes John to have to work, quote, in a store.
Oh,
Yeah.
big step down. Big step down.
Gross.
Cash and
Pretty
harness checks
gross.
all day long.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now you're just in a store.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Let's go
Gotta
to
feed Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta feed Nancy. Gotta feed the Nancy.
Gotta feed the Nancy.
This also meant that John had to have and again, I'm quoting here, a common school education.
Ugh.
Must be so nice to live in Canada and just look down on us for our common school educations. Fuck you, Meg. When he was 16 years old, he took a job at a local tavern there in Lebanon. And he did that for-
Ohio.
Lebanon, Ohio. Yes.
Not
thank you.
Lebanon. Okay.
Yeah, we're still in Ohio.
Thank you.
We haven't left yet. We're gonna leave Lebanon soon. We're still
Okay.
there though. He does this for a few years, and in 1845, when he's 19 years old, that's when he decides he's gonna set off for the Queen City.
Ooh. Which one
I
is that?
believe Erin is in the chat, and she's
that
probably
Charlotte?
thinking that means
I think
Stanton,
that's
Virginia.
Jordan. Oh.
Huh. There are
Jordan,
19
right next to
cities-
Saudi Arabia.
Oh, the real Jordan.
Lots more tavern work in Saudi Arabia, from what I understand.
That's
Lots
what
of
I hear.
tavern work over there.
They love to get hosed in Saudi Arabia. He goes to Cincinnati. Now, Cincy is an interesting choice for John because they are currently experiencing repeated cholera epidemics. Art once
Not
And
and
a place
John
for
did not read the brochure very closely.
No market for sex harnesses there.
Mm-mm, no.
Not
No,
with all
not
that
anymore.
cholera. Yeah. Yeah.
This sex harness is great, but I have to keep cinching it down every time I lose 15 pounds. This is really weird.
Doesn't have enough holes in it. Hole puncher? I don't know.
Mhm.
One an adjustable harness. So John's there, and he finds a job as a clerk at 2 different hotels at the same time.
Ooh, moonlighting.
He's a man. He's like fully consumed by his work. By 18,
his work of being a clerk at a hotel. Yeah,
That- hey.
I get it, man. Dude, been there. If you're
do you
gonna
know
do it,
how awful?
throw
hey,
yourself
listen,
into it.
You've been a clerk at Blockbuster. Imagine how
Mhm.
much worse it is if your customers have money. What's happening at your house?
Someone just fell. It's fine.
your house
Is it
collapsing?
Something just fell.
Oh my god, it is a ghost.
Totally fine. Totally fine. And here's
Okay.
the.
There's
we
a
go.
bathroom.
They
It's
must
a
have
toilet.
fallen
They've
into the
fallen
toilet.
Into the toilet now.
And here they come. Hi. Hi.
Okay, by 1855, he had worked enough to save up enough money to purchase a quarter interest in Tremont House, which was a luxury hotel in Chicago, Illinois.
Ooh. Moving right on up.
Now, the Tremont has an interesting history. So it was built in 1933, about 20 years before John got involved. Built in 1933 at the northwest corner of Lake Street and Dearborn, which I'm pretty sure is a wow bow now.
Oh. Ooh. Okay. Yeah.
Ryan can confirm if it's still a wow bow. It definitely was a wow bow for a long time. I'm pretty sure this is a wow bow. But back then it was a hotel. The Tremont was a 3-story hotel. And here's something important about it. This is a key fact.
Mhm.
It was made of wood.
Oh, and what year is this again?
Well, this is 1933.
Oh, 19. Oh, okay. Okay.
No,
yeah.
sorry, 1833. That's wrong. This is 1833.
Okay.
Still not close enough to the Great
We'll fix
Fire.
it in post. It'll be fine. Yeah.
Thank you, Jeremy. Make it a little tick.
Uh,
1833.
okay. 1833, downtown Chicago, solid wood hotel.
Solid wood. Yeah.
Awesome.
Now,
Cool.
The Great Chicago Fire is 40 years away.
Yeah.
Right. That was 1871.
So they know they
it's
have
gonna
time.
be fine.
Yeah. They're like, I don't want to be working here in 40 years because, as I understand it, shit's going to happen. But
I
for
think
now,
this is gonna go bad.
not a big deal.
Okay. Anyway, so Maywood. Next note. Oh, it burns to the ground in 1839.
Trendsetters.
Now, the owners are the 2 brothers named James and Ira Couch. They're pretty sad about this. But they're brothers, and they look deeply into each other's eyes, and they clasp hands, and they say, "Brother, we will rebuild."
Hmm.
So that same year, they break ground on the 2nd Tremont Hotel.
Mhm.
Now it's on the southeast corner of Lake and Dearborn. It
Oh,
was northwest, now it's southeast.
because they follow the other one. It's that one's
Yeah.
there's-
That land is ruined and
Mhm.
full of burnt rubble.
I wouldn't even put a wow bow here.
But now it's on the southeast corner. And they make pretty fast work of this rebuilding. So the new Tremont, 2nd Tremont, reopens in May of 1840. So just a few months later. On July 21st, 1841, that one burns to the ground.
Oh, they did wood again. They made
It was
that
wood
choice.
again.
Okay,
It was wood
that's
again.
fine. Yeah, at some point, man finds stone in this story. So
Yeah. Yeah. Meg, you look concerned for a while there. Are you okay?
I'm listening.
All right. How's your email looking? Which I assume you're checking. So second one burns to the ground. Now the Couch brothers are like, God damn it. This fucking hotel. And they decide to rebuild one more time.
Mhm.
And this time, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, still shame on you. But fool me 3 times, no, shame on me. And they do it upright. They go big, and they also use some stone.
just not too much. You don't
I
want
would
to.
say
You don't want to be
make it
too showy.
heavy.
Yeah.
No, no, but they do use some stone. And this third hotel is 5.5 stories tall.
Mhm.
And it's got a big footprint. and this one it's state of the art. It's got the finest amenities of the day. It costs $75,000 to build and $260,000 to furnish, which in today's money is about $3 million to build. and more
Billion?
than 10 no million.
Oh,
I know it's not actually as impressive as you would expect it to be. Patrick, there's a ghost in your house.
I have children yelling at me. Half a second.
are they dead children? For
Like they might be about to be.
For the listeners, that was a stern glance at that very funny joke.
I do like one. There's like literally one thing in my entire life. It's fine. It's fine. It'll be fine. Anyway, I was just gonna say I have clearly underfurnished my house because this is not the ratio that I went with at all.
It's never too late to refurnish.
From the fucking Ming Dynasty or something. I don't think that's. I don't know if this is an option.
Yeah. So it's yeah.
I'm wondering
Oh,
if I
sorry.
should stop and do a Canadian Old Spaghetti Factory trivia here.
Pizza.
That's better. That's better.
And that was my Canadian. So just before I start, something that people always say is that Canadians are polite. I recognize that that is a trope that is said around, that Canadians are polite. And my friend Bobby from Florida, who had never been to Canada, came up to Winnipeg and this past summer with me as we did a show together in Winnipeg. And he remarked after this encounter at Starbucks, we went through the drive-through and I had ordered on mobile, and the drive-through lady, when we got to the front, I said, "Hi, I ordered a mobile for Megan." And she went, "Oh, 1 second." And then she went back and she brought it and she gave it out and she said, "So just so you know, when you order, you can say drive-through instead of pickup. Thanks." And Bobby looks at me and he goes, "I get it. Canadians are polite. They're just really passive aggressive." But you figured it out.
This is the whitest story I've ever heard.
Okay. So, all right, should we start? We'll start general. A spooky back room. There's a spooky back room where servers who are in there late at night constantly feel watched by a ghost who shuffles boxes back and forth, like in this back storage room.
Like
So
in a
there's-
helpful way?
Probably. I mean, I don't think the boxes are real either. I think they're his.
Oh,
Oh,
boxes.
ghost boxes.
They're ghost boxes. So it's a
Interesting.
ghost with
Okay.
ghost boxes. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's got a spooky back room and there's a ghost who moves boxes.
That's it?
Yep.
Gosh, not a lot of
It-
location specifics there.
It used to be, well, what I can tell you is where the building used to be.
Okay.
Um
No Googling, Patrick.
it used to be a warehouse, which likely had a fair amount of foot traffic from workers, deliveries, and stock
Okay, I have an
moving
idea
in and
already.
out.
Okay, that's
okay.
good. That is
there
good.
are people there.
Used
Or
to be a
that does
warehouse.
that does narrow it down quite a bit in Canada. Let's see.
All right, so should we both be talking about our thought process here?
I'm gonna go straight to the monkey. I'm not gonna.
Okay.
You know.
All right.
I'm good.
Wait.
I'm-
Before you do, can we say the same one? Because I also want to go straight to the monkey.
Okay.
Go ahead,
I
Pat.
just want to wait. Can I just clarify? We don't have monkeys in Canada. They're
Yeah.
not natural to our. Okay.
Oh, we
No.
have lots in Chicago and Virginia and
Yeah.
St. Louis. So
We give them adorable little jackets. They'll make it there eventually. Don't worry. With the reference earlier to the passive aggressive Starbucks host, I'm gonna have to go with Winnipeg. Clayton.
Ooh.
Oh, okay. I brought my Sherlock Holmes pipe just for so I think it helps me to think about like chew on it.
Is that that's your thinking pipe?
My thinking pipe. This is a pipe. This is a corncob pipe. So this is a slight we're gonna derail for just a second here. This was made in Washington, Missouri, which is my hometown, and Washington, Missouri is the #1 corncob pipe capital of the world. And if you go to Japan, as my friend Tom Long once did, you will find corncob pipes from rural Washington, Missouri there. And therefore, they are great at thinking because they're so worldly. Based on the idea of a warehouse and workers, I'm going to say Gastown in British Columbia.
You just dropped it.
In the middle of a show.
This is how the show works.
There is hang on. There's a place
Uh-huh.
that you also happen to be from.
Yeah.
That is known worldwide
Uh-huh.
for corn cobs. Like
Yeah,
what
and it's a very
Frosty
small
the
place.
Snowman uses.
Yeah.
I know. What's every week, Megan, I'm like, what are you doing on this podcast? Why are you not?
Why aren't you rich?
Yeah.
I
I'm just happy you found time to schedule.
I'm just trying to answer the question, and I think I want to say
but
Gastown.
you can't just drop that.
I think,
and
she's
go.
trying to deflect you. I don't think it's Gastown, Clayton. I think she's trying to.
This is
trying
like
to
what Peter
steer you
Sagal
off.
does. On
Yeah,
Wait,
I don't think she's
you
just
sure?
excited about the pipes.
Okay. I would say Winnipeg.
Did you both just guess Winnipeg?
Oh shit!
Well, based on your body language, yes.
Oh no, I was just checking. I wanted to see what your.
Oh yes,
Like,
I'm all in. I'm all
No,
in.
I'm going
You guys
Gastown.
just-
I'm going Gastown.
Okay.
You're going Gastown. You're
Mhm.
going Winnipeg. It is Ottawa.
Oh,
What is Ottawa?
Oh my
thought-
That's
god!
not even
that
on
was
this
a state.
list.
Shut
I
your
thought-
mouth.
I know, but it's not on this list. It's not even on the list of the Old Spaghetti Factory Canada locations on the Old Spaghetti Factory Canada website. So
Oh, hang on, Sam. Is there? Maybe it was an old one. Did it close?
this game is going great so far, and I'm glad we interrupted the story to tell it.
Oh shit!
I'm excited to find out that I'm the only one that doesn't have the list. Apparently.
Oh
This is-
my
I
god!
put it in the chat. And I announced that it was going in the chat.
Okay, well, fuck.
If it helps,
Yeah.
I don't think either of us
You know
would have guessed Ottawa.
We're just gonna call that one a tie. I think it's fine. I think
You know
it's
what?
okay.
That's the best thing to do.
Okay, okay. Let me redeem myself. I'll give you one more.
Hold on, do I gotta do
Um,
it? Hold on.
Pizza.
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you,
Mm.
and I would like you to guess where there is a ghost where there should be, and there's actually not.
Can you explain the rule one more time?
Where there are no ghosts whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
So there's no ghosts in that place whatsoever, even though it feels like a place that should have ghosts.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go with probably the highest cost of living area because a ghost isn't gonna be able to afford anything in British Columbia. So I'm gonna go with Vancouver. I'm gonna go Vancouver on this one.
Ooh, which Vancouver?
I'm gonna go Whistler.
The one
Whistler.
in Canada. I don't know what the fuck.
Ooh, the one in Canada.
I'm gonna say Vancouver and all Vancouver metropolitan areas. West
Vancouver- here's a-
Vancouver,
An important
East
question.
Vancouver,
Is Vancouver in British Columbia?
Oh my god.
Clayton.
Okay,
it-
I'm sorry. That question was for Patrick. Patrick, is Vancouver in British Columbia?
Of course it is. It's the one on the left, I think. Okay, Clayton, what's your
Yes.
guess? Going back to
I already
Gastown?
said Whistler.
You guess Whistler? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you have a guess, Patrick?
Vancouver,
Didn't I guess
which
Vancouver?
isn't
Oh,
an
yeah.
option.
Vancouver, Canada. I'm sorry.
I'll tell you, the ones that are in Vancouver, there's Gastown, Abbotsford, depending on how you talk to,
Mhm.
New Westminster,
Mhm.
yeah, and Richmond. Those are all like
I'm going to go with New Westminster.
Ooh. Okay.
I would just
I
point
will-
out the website also has Whistler, Victoria, Langley, and Kelowna.
Oh, and there's Langley on
never
there
gonna
too.
remember
Oh
these.
yeah. Yeah.
This game
Okay.
is going great.
So So I'll just say those are both excellent guesses. Both of those places do have ghosts, and they're very good. They're good ghosts.
Mhm.
Write those down, Patrick,
Um,
for later, because she's might bring them back
I
up.
was bluffing. I don't have any paper.
I don't even know what paper is. But the one that does not have any ghosts is Winnipeg, which
Damn it!
I know,
Oh, we could
I
have just
know,
said
which-
that again.
which should have ghosts because it's in like a really spooky old area of town called the.
And we know that, so we agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's
yeah.
why we didn't guess it. 'cause
That's why I
Which
guessed
fun-
Winnipeg last time, but
That's
here we
right.
are.
Fun fact.
Wait,
and
wait,
then-
wait.
Button,
Stop,
wait
stop,
button.
stop. Okay, say that again. Say fun fact again.
Fun fact.
Wham!
I hate how much that was worth it. So if I say it again, will you do it again?
Yeah, sure will.
Every time.
Every time.
Wham!
Is that not the sound effect? Was that just you?
Meg, listen, our listeners hate it when these go longer than an hour. We're already almost at an
I'm-
hour, and we have
fuck,
so
I'm
many notes to go through.
So sorry. Okay. Basically, the fun fact about Winnipeg is it was built as Chicago North. And it was built
Way
like
north.
yeah, so it was built to be like a Chicago, like our financial district in the
Mhm.
middle. And if you know, in the 20s, the strike, the strike movement that happened
Mhm.
all across North America, it
Mhm.
started in Winnipeg. So they basically
Oh. That
started
sounds like Chicago, yeah.
unionizing,
Yeah.
and Winnipeg caused the Great Depression.
All right, that's a fun fact that was worth it.
Also, the namesake of Winnie the Pooh.
Oh, okay.
His full name is
so
his
redeeming
Christian name is
quality.
Winnipeg the Pooh.
It was a her. She was a bear that she had
Okay.
been stolen
All right.
from Winnipeg, where she was from, and then they moved her in a truck in England, and that's where A.A. Milne
Okay.
learned it with his grandson.
I'll tell you
Okay,
what,
I'm
in
done.
America, Winnie the Pooh is a boy. We have to get back. So I will
I'm
come back to
so
the game.
sorry. I'm
but
so sorry.
we do have to move on.
I'm so sorry.
Where are we?
We're on line fucking 3, I believe.
I think we are. So the third hotel is 5.5 stories tall, finest amenities. In modern day money, it's $3 million to build, $10 million to furnish. All the rooms have their own bathrooms and bathtubs, which is unheard of at this time.
Mhm.
And
Previously, that was just the same thing. So it's really exciting for them, I guess.
it was, and for some of us, it still is.
It's all
But
pipes.
they-
It's all pipes. It's
It all
you know,
goes to the same sewer. Don't be so precious about that. And this is what it looked like, everybody.
very exciting.
Now, it's got an observatory on top.
What I love my favorite part of this is the title of this photo is the extremely exciting third hotel. That's my favorite part of this.
Yeah,
This is the third hotel.
and it makes sense.
We got pretty
It
good
is
by the third
exciting
one.
that they built a third hotel because no one is dumb enough to do that. And this building now is across from the Goodman Theater, which Ryan, you can weigh in if you want. Now there's a parking garage there. What else, Ryan? You know.
Do I? I don't know. There's yeah, I think there's a parking garage. Isn't there? There's also like a little fake mall kind of thing right in that general area.
Well, you can definitely take
right?
the pedway through here.
Yeah. There's like some BS little fake mall.
Yeah, for those of you not familiar with Chicago, the pedway is like an underground sidewalk, basically. That when it's really cold, which happens on occasion, you can get around the loop of Chicago with this underground walkway, and that is there as well. Anyway, so that's the third hotel, and the fact that you need 3 hotels is pretty good. This is a big investment, obviously, like a lot of money they're pouring into this hotel that already burned down twice. And so folks in Chicago start calling it Couch's Folly. Now, the new hotel opens its doors on September 29th, 1850.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're 5 years before our original friend John buys in. So it
The
opens
sex harness business.
with a sex harness business.
Right.
Again, I don't want to get sued by his estate because they are still pretty powerful.
They
so
still
I will
have a
just say,
fourth
I will
of a
say
parking
harness.
garage. I don't want to get nabbed by them.
I will say that we don't know that it's not a sex harness business.
Great. Great.
Meg, you may not be familiar with this, but Americans are famously litigious. So the hotel's a success, though, and it even starts attracting nice new residential homes to the neighborhood, which is a great thing. And 3 years after it opens, the Couch brothers are like, I think maybe we should hedge our bets on this. Like the first two have burned down, like, and this one's going great. Maybe we should like sell it. Maybe we should just like take the money and run. So they come up with a plan to not exactly sell it. They are going to lease the building and the furniture, but on a long-term lease. So it's a complicated thing, but essentially they're going to bring in investors.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I mean, the furniture is worth 10 times what the building is for some reason. So it's not a
you're
bad
gonna
idea to lease that
definitely
part
put
out.
furniture in that contract for sure. The men who signed on to buy it were named another pair of brothers named David and George Gage. Patrick, you familiar with the Gage?
I am not.
You were
not as
poor when you lived in Chicago.
not as
Ryan,
a
you
brother.
familiar
Not
with
as a
the
brother.
Gage?
I am quite familiar with the Gauge. Yeah, it's a delicious restaurant.
You and I and Mary had drinks there my last week at Columbia, I think, right?
Yeah, that sounds right. I think she bought too, which
Which
it's,
was, hey, when you go to the Gage, say Mary's buying this.
every time.
And
every
she
time.
won't be there, but it might help. Anyway, so those brothers bought part of this, and as part of the deal, the Gages needed to put in a little more capital than they had, and so they reach out to John Drake over in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yep.
And this is how John acquires 1/4 ownership in the Tremont House Hotel.
Just the couches. That's all. Yes. Yeah.
I mean, that's
I just want the
probably
couches.
the most valuable asset in the whole
Yeah.
thing. It's insane. It's a terrible way to run a
$4
business.
billion.
I have this theory about the future of the harness business, and it involves couches tangentially, but I need some test subjects. And that's how Naugahyde was invented. So it's kind of exciting.
Interesting. Okay. So he buys it. And here's a fun fact.
Wham!
About the Tremont. In the 1850s, Chicago decided to make its streets taller by about 6 feet.
Most people were widening streets. Chicago, they thought the other direction. No.
If you're going to make money,
Mm-hmm.
it's up here. It's up here in your brain.
You got to squeeze the people.
Exactly. Nowhere for them to go but up.
And we will put them up. And so they decided to make the streets taller by an average, I think, of about 6 feet. Now, this is a problem because you have a lot of stores and hotels and, I don't know, houses that are at current street level. And if you raise the street by 6 feet, you can't enter those places anymore.
Oh, so they raised
Yeah. Yeah, substantially.
Yeah.
How?
They also did this in Seattle, actually, which is closer to where you are. So if you go to Seattle, Meg, which I think is probably pretty easy for you to do, you can do an underground tour. They still you can go under the streets of Seattle and you can see the original buildings that are still down there, like under the streets. They raised Seattle a whole flight, a whole, I don't know, story.
Yeah. I love you. Like, Megan, let me put this in Canadian terms. In Seattle.
Ryan, you have thoughts?
No, I have no thoughts. But I will say the chat has come up with, I think, a very interesting idea as it relates to all of this, which is perhaps the next T-shirt idea, which would be.
Wait.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
He has a notebook.
I am so thirsty for these. I don't have any.
That's great. We're going with some sort of a sex harness made out of spaghetti.
Okay, I'm out.
That's there seems to be some traction here for this. So I
Hey,
think
is
people are gonna
Luna
want
still
that.
here? Because Luna, are you
It's-
listening?
Oh,
I believe-
they've called him out for it.
I believe.
Okay.
Okay. Can I chime in? Old spaghetti whorehouse. Anybody?
Okay, it's more blunt than the other,
Okay.
and that's
Everybody
a bad
in
thing.
there is a Nancy.
Yeah. Come meet your Nancy at the old spaghetti whorehouse.
I'm a Nancy.
Luna, I hope you're taking notes, and I hope you're ready to.
He's already
expand your
the
artistic
gears are
boundaries.
already turning up here for Steven, I'm sure. He's like, no, I got the framing down. No, I got this. It's fine.
Right. Perfect. All right, so where are we here? So yeah, so they're raising the streets. Now, Patrick, you probably know what they did to the buildings then, so that you could access them. Do you know this story? You must know
They tore them down. I have no idea.
this. Oh my God, you lived in Chicago for how long?
I lived downtown 1 year, and the rest of the time I was drunk on the Northwest Side. So
Did they put stilts? Did they give them stilts?
In a sense, they did raise all the buildings downtown. They raised them up.
What? But to what end? Like I'm still wrapping.
So that you
why
could get
would
in the front.
raise
I'm sorry, so
street?
you can get in the front door.
Oh no, I understand.
Asked and answered. So moving on.
it was
I
so everyone could be closer to God, Megan. That was the issue. They weren't close
Yeah.
enough to God. They need to be
Yeah.
6 feet closer to the
They
Lord.
did the math, and they said if we're 6 feet closer, then shall we be blessed.
Exactly.
Okay.
We've done a lot of sinning, but I think if we move
Right.
it up 6 feet,
Oh, so they're Mormon. Okay.
exactly, absolutely.
Okay.
No, so this is a good question. Why they?
They were supposed to do it every 10 years, but eventually they ran out of money.
They ran out
So-
of money.
But it took 10 years to raise all these fucking skyscrapers up 6 feet. So
Not doing it again. It's close
Keep
enough.
telling the story. I have so many questions that you can't
I
possibly
know
answer.
we don't have time. This is our.
It's okay. I'm gonna look them up myself. But
No, well, and this is good because our next Ghost Plus podcast could be like questions from Meg, and then we can talk about this, and that's bonus content. So hold on to those.
Or the
questions.
second half of this episode. That would also be fine.
or hour 4 of this episode. I don't remember actually
Totally
why
fine.
they raised that. I used to know. I
Was
think
it
it had
flooding?
something to
It's
do
probably
with the
flooding.
with the water
Yeah, it's
because
flood-
Lake
yeah.
Michigan's right there. And Ryan, if you see anyone in the chat who knows, this seems like a thing Jen Swanson would know for some reason. You can feel free to cut in. But anyway, it was a good reason. They're going to raise all the buildings. So they do that. And the Tremont was actually one of the largest to be raised up. And I guess this is kind of a fun fact too.
Wham!
That project was overseen by a man named George Pullman. Who,
Oh,
of course, later goes on to make Pullman sleeping cars for trains.
interesting.
Yeah. What I've learned through the research of this story is there are 4 families in Chicago that have their names on everything.
The Pullmans, the Gages,
Uh-huh.
the Couches,
Uh-huh. Do you remember John's last name?
Sears Tower.
Yes. Oh, shit. Okay. Wow. Yeah. John
Sex
Sears Tower.
harness.
John
John-
Sears
yeah,
Tower.
John Sex.
That's his
yes.
middle name, Meg. Sorry. John Sex Harness Sears
Sorry,
Tower.
I'm still on Lebanon.
It's been a long
It's
time.
a whole phenomenon. They literally have a Wikipedia article, Raising of Chicago.
Yeah, it is a big deal. I mean, as you can imagine, these were some really seriously big buildings that they raised up like 6 feet in some places, more in some places. So anyway, Meg, save this energy for our new Ghost Plus podcast. Please, look. Okay, good. Okay. So we have.
I don't know
I
how
can't
Americans
stress
say
you-
yes. I assume it's a salute.
Yeah, we do a
It's that.
salute.
It's that.
It's a Captain
Yeah.
America thing, and I can't stress how many more notes we have to go through. This is not.
You
This
should,
is.
you should start paring this down a little bit. There's a lot
I
going on
won't.
here.
I won't. I spent so much time doing this. I won't do it. We may in post split this up into 2 episodes. Sally, I'm sorry. You must be so tired, but we have so much more to go.
Sally has expired. Sally is
Sally's
a
dead
pile
now.
of dust in her living room right now. She is gone.